You know, I love living out here in the boonies. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. The advantages certainly outweigh the disadvantages. But you know, one of the biggest disadvantages of living out here where we are is that, you know, there's not a lot of people up our road and whatnot, and so we're kind of way out on the grid. And so when the power goes out, we're one of the last ones to get it restored. You know, they'll restore people that are closer to town and closer to the hospital and whatnot. Get it, and rightfully so. That's the biggest portion of their customers are there. So we're one of the last ones. I remember one time when the power went out, it was 5 days we didn't have any power, and that was seriously inconvenient. Now, we've done a lot of things on the property here to kind of like minimize the problems that would come with having no power. For instance, we have the generator, and I installed an interlock switch on the electrical and whatnot, and I've got some small solar panels and whatnot, and I've got water collection. But the biggest thing that you don't want to be without anymore is you don't want to be without your cell service. You don't want to be without electronics and being able to access the internet and stuff. So on my other channel, Grow Your Heirlooms, I'll put a link below. I've reviewed a couple of the small foldable solar panels, and just because when the power goes out, you like to have a little bit of power, at least for your phone and tablet and stuff. So, but today I went and got this Thunderbolt 18-watt solar panel. Harbor Freight sells them, and it's the 18 watt. They also sell a smaller one. I can't remember what the wattage is, 9 or 11 or something like that. I wanted to get the bigger one. This one here was 69 bucks. And so what I wanted to do is to just see in one day what this was capable of being able to charge. Now it's got two USB outlets there. It says it's up to 3 amp output. It says 1.5 amp per USB output. Now they're both USB-A, so you're not going to do any fast charging. There's no USB-C to USB-C, so you're not going to do that. But it says charges smartphones, tablets, other small to medium-sized USB-powered devices. So I'm going to give this a run and see just how well this is going to work for me when the power goes out, because I have quite a bit of demands when it does go out. For instance, I like to be able to use my camera. I want to be able to charge my camera batteries. I want to be able to charge like my wireless mic. I want to be able to charge my tablet, my phone, and battery pack. Now, the two things that I want to really test are the two things that I use the most. I use my cell phone, and I use a huge V-mount battery pack. The beauty with the V-mount battery pack is that it can be mounted to camera, and it can be mounted. You can use it to charge your tablet and your cell phone and stuff like that. So the biggest thing for me is to charge that V-mount battery pack. Now I'm going to be doing a review on that pack coming up soon. But so let me show you the two things that I want to be able to charge, and I like to be able to charge them in one day. Okay, so here are the two things that I need to keep charged. It's critical for me when the power goes out. The first one, of course, is my cell phone. This is the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G. This has a 4855 milliamp hour battery, so that's a pretty good sized battery. And then the second thing here, this is my ZGCINE V-mount battery. It's got a 6750 milliamp hour battery. It's a 99.9 watt hour battery, and it's critical for me to keep this charged because this thing is nice because it has lots of different ports. I can charge up other devices with it. It's got a V-mount, of course, and I can actually run cameras and stuff with it. So it's critical that I have this fully charged if the power goes out. So let's go ahead and try to charge both of these. The first thing we're going to do is try my cell phone. Now it won't even turn on. It's so dead it won't even turn on. So we're going to try this first, and then after that we're going to try the V-mount battery. Okay, so when you take it out of the box, all you get is this, and you get this little manual. Don't need that. First strike against it, I don't like styrofoam. Styrofoam is junk. It's not biodegradable, and it's just unnecessary. They could have used cardboard. So that's strike one. And then, so I'm not going to, there's no big rundown because it's 4 panels, and on the back it's got 2 USB ports. That's it. Well, it's got this here. It's got this little flap on it that will hold this. I wish it had another one here. I wish it had, or maybe, I don't know, some with a split in the middle, one across, because this one little flap has to hold up the whole panel, but I'm not going to complain about that. It works. It's not great, but it works. So let's go ahead and set this up. I tried putting it on a piece of wood, but it was too slippery because there's just one little edge that it sits on. So this one section right here is supposed to hold this whole thing up. I think that's kind of a weak design. But anyway, so I plugged this USB cable into one of the two USB-A, and I'm going to plug my phone in now. And okay, yeah, it's got a little lightning bolt, so it's charging. I'm going to set this back here away from the sun, and we will see how long it takes. We'll start the timer. Okay, so I came back here, so it is 100%. It was 99 about a minute ago. So it's 100%, and that was exactly 2 hours and 3 minutes to charge this phone here. So now we have this battery pack right here. And we're going to go ahead and try to charge up this ZGCINE battery pack. So we've got a little USB port right here, and we're going to plug it in. And now this is probably too big. Well, I think I could probably set it back here away from the sun. Actually, it's a little big. So I brought this box out. I'm going to set it inside this box just to keep it out of the sun. And let me make sure it's charging. Yep, it's charging up. So I'll just put it in this box. And I'm going to have to, because the sun is going to be directly overhead, and then I'm going to have to tilt it the other way. And so I'll just keep an eye on this and see how long it takes to charge this huge battery up. Okay, so it's a new day, and I disconnected it last night about 7:30 because the sun started going behind the trees. And so I wanted this test to be in full sun. So I disconnected it. It ran about 7 hours. And I reconnected it this morning when I got full sun over those trees there. And it ran about 4.5 hours to fully charge this battery. So that's about 11.5 hours. And I think that's pretty good. Now, that may seem like a long time, but you have to remember, this ZGCINE battery it's huge. And most people are not going to charge these with this. And even though it took 11.5 hours, this thing charging it in the house takes, I mean, hours and hours to even charge it from a wall socket. So I think that's pretty good. I mean, well, if I charge this with power delivery, then it just takes a few hours. But if I was to do it from regular USB-A, it would take a long time, just like this did. So I think that's a pretty good testament to this thing here. Most people aren't going to charge these size batteries. They're going to be charging their cell phones and tablets and whatnot. So I think that's a really good test. Yeah, 11.5 hours. That's pretty good in my opinion. Okay, so final analysis. It does everything that it's supposed to do. One thing I didn't mention, because it's in the sun and I really didn't notice the readout, but there is a little readout here. It's got red numbers. Couldn't hardly see it, so I was not paying attention to it. It's really insignificant to me. I wanted to see how long it would take. I mean, I'm looking at time. I'm not looking at numbers. So a full day for my V-mount battery pack, 2 hours for my cell phone. In a pinch, though, the cell phone is not that big of a deal because that V-mount battery is the biggest thing. I can charge my cell phone and tablet multiple times with just that V-mount battery. So I'm not really concerned about doing both of them. If I can get that V-mount battery charged, I'm good for a few days. And so yeah, I'm really impressed. Now, if I was to give it a number, out of 5 stars, I would have to give it probably 4. I may be generous and go 4.5, but there's 2 things that really I think that could be improved. Number one is this. Now that may seem insignificant to a lot of people. I'm not one of these big time environmentalists, but come on guys, it's 2024. We can use cardboard. This is going to sit around the landfill for I don't know how many decades. So centuries, I don't know. But and also the this right here, this little flap here. This flap has to hold up all 4 panels, and it's weak in my opinion. They could have put another one here or something else. I think they could improve on that, and maybe in the future they will. But for now, as far as the function of this and what it's supposed to do, it does a great job, and so I'm really impressed with this. So 4.5. Okay, I'll be generous. 4.8 out of 5. So there it is. This is the Thunderbolt Solar 18-watt foldable solar panel. I'll put a link below to where you can get this, and yeah, I think it's great. I think it's going to work wonderfully when the power goes out, which is 4 or 5 times a year here. So, all right, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you later.